Good morning, everybody. Hello, we are live on the usual platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I think I've got them all. Episode number 13. We are joined today by the infamous Jeri Williams, otherwise known as that one from the LinkedIn videos, probably, which we'll get onto in a little bit. So we are live on the various platforms. If you have any questions, please do ask them. We can see on LinkedIn, we can see YouTube and Facebook. So if you want to ask any questions, head over to one of those channels or platforms and ask away. Jeri will be answering any accountancy questions you've got, however big or small. Hello, Jeri.
Hi.
Morning.
Hi.
I don't know if you want to do a bit of an intro about who you are and what you do, that kind of thing.
Sure. So I'm an accountant. I own Jeri Williams & Co. Accountants in Fareham, just around the corner. We've been going since sort of mid-2016. And there's about to be 9 of us tomorrow. My 9th person joins tomorrow. So, yeah, we do all aspects of tax, company tax, personal tax, accounts for everything from individuals, landlords, sole traders, partnerships, companies.
So how did you get started then? Because you've only 3 years and 9 staff is quite quick.
Yeah. So I worked at a firm previously. I was there for about 10 years and sort of worked my way up from trainee to director level there. And then when I had my second son, I just decided I kind of wanted more flexibility around him, around the children, both of them. Yeah. So they were 2 and 9 months old. So I left my employment and basically set up from home. I just wanted to do a few accounts from home, just kind of pay my bills and just be able to do whatever with the kids when I needed to. But very quickly got quite busy. So sort of almost immediately needed a member of staff, so kind of got admin to start with, and then converted the garage at home, worked out of there for a couple of years, and it just went from there really.
Wow,
so,
that's really, really good. Yeah. So kids must be, I guess, 5 and
4 and 6.
4 and 6.
4 and 6. Yeah, just turned 4 and 6.
School?
Both. Yeah, my youngest just started school.
Literally a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
A few weeks ago, yeah. So, so they're both at school. Yeah, they love it. They're both really good. So, yeah, and they're both at school together. So that's nice.
Oh, really? That's
so my eldest looks after the younger one and says, I checked on him at lunch, mummy. And I sat with him at lunchtime so I could help him with his food. Stuff is so cute. so cute. But yeah, they're really good. They're brilliant, them two. So, yeah.
I was just about to turn, our eldest is about to turn 4. But he's desperately needs to go to school. But I think he'll be the oldest in the year, so he's literally got to wait another year until he goes to school now.
Yeah, so mine was one of the youngest.
He needs to be knackered out. He's just, too much energy.
They have a lot of energy, don't they?
Is it boy, girl?
2 boys.
Cool, okay.
2 boys, yeah.
Handful.
Yeah. So they are. But they're really good kids. Yeah, I don't know. I don't, touch wood, have
parenting
any. Well, yeah, I think, don't know. They're just boys, they're boisterous and they like having fun and stuff, but I don't mind all of that. It's all part of the fun, isn't it? So, yeah, it's good.
You're quite an energetic parent, running around with them.
Well, yeah, depends. Not on a Sunday with a hangover, but, yeah, on an all day, we're okay.
So you started 3 years ago. So your first member of staff, was that like a remote person or did they actually come into
No, they came in. Yeah, Fran, she's our office manager now. So she just runs the show pretty much. She's amazing.
It's weird having them come in and work from your garage and for your house and things, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And she'd been on maternity leave and took a kind of a real gamble, I suppose, because I was in my garage please come and work for me, you know, this new kind of accountancy business. And she took a risk on me and I was so kind of grateful and she's just been amazing ever since. So she loves the admin side and the organising side and all of that. She doesn't do any of the accounts or anything. She literally just deals with all our new clients, our engagement stuff, our onboarding process. She's got that down to a T, and it's a lot more than admin. It's kind of, I don't like to call it an admin role because she does so much, but she's, when she goes on holiday, we're all a bit like, oh, Fran's not here. How do we scan?
You get really busy all of a sudden.
Yeah. We're we need to do a letter. Does anyone know how to do a letter here? How do we do that? But yeah, so she's great. So she's still with us. So
it's Matt. I think you took a bit of a chance on us, didn't you? So as Matt joined us, you must be our third member of staff. Yes. And we were in so our old office was in the front of one of the warehouses down behind Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
And we had a roller skating rink in the back, or it wasn't even there. It was, we literally like got the building and the roller rink was being built at the time. And it was like, man, come and work for us from this nice, safe, secure job from like a massive company over the road. To we're gonna have a pub in the back in our warehouse.
Yeah,
and
it's so funny, isn't it, when you're trying to like convince people. One of the ladies that works for me, Michelle, she was the first person I sort of tried to recruit, and again she came into the garage and I was just there like, and she's
look at my empire.
Yeah. I was like, it is growing really fast, and I think it's going to continue to grow and stuff. And she sort of didn't come on board, but I stay in touch with her ever since, and eventually she did come on board, and she's absolutely amazing. So yeah, but it just took me a bit of time to kind of, because it is a massive gamble for someone working for an established firm to come and work out of your garage. Like it's totally different thing. So but just got to keep on them.
How did you get into accountancy, like, to begin with? What was the reason?
I was always good at maths at school, and I kind of just decided, it must have been towards the end of school, maybe when I was at college, I was like, well, I'm good at maths and I want to earn quite a lot of money, so what can I do? And it was like, could be a maths teacher maybe, but I don't really have enough patience for that. So I was like, I'll be an accountant, and that was it. Didn't look back. Just did everything I needed to do.
So what did you do at college and stuff?
Was college, it accountancy? I did like business studies and stuff. Then I did a degree in business studies.
Wow, okay.
I thought I'll keep my options open a little bit by doing more of an all-rounded sort of degree with accounts in it, because then you can still go into accountancy.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then literally before I even graduated, I had a job lined up at an accountancy firm and just went for that.
So does that mean because we've, our apprentices just moved onwards, is that AAT, ACA?
Yeah, so you can do AAT, which is kind of like the introduction to the accountancy qualification. So that you do sort of AAT level 2, 3 and 4, and then you can move on from that into either like ACA or ACCA and things.
Right,
so I did a degree instead of doing
AAT.
Okay. And then I went on to do ACA, so chartered qualification.
Blimey, lots of work.
Yeah, it was about 7 years of studying, so glad that's behind me.
So having a look over your LinkedIn, and I think I got involved in the discussion, Xero versus Sage? Why choose? And I'll do this two questions. Why would you choose Xero over Sage?
Why would you choose Xero over Sage? So, I mean, Xero's cloud-based. Sage, despite them having Sage Cloud, it's not really cloud-based. It's a little bit misleading.
Sage 1, is it?
Sage 1, yeah, Sage 1 is cloud-based. Xero, I think, have moved a lot quicker with what people want, and that was the problem, because Sage, historically, I was always a Sage user, so I use Sage from day one, at my old practice, all the time, every day, using Sage, training clients how to use Sage. I could do it in my sleep. I was really all about Sage, and it wasn't until May 2018 last year that I literally went, we're just going to switch to Xero, because I could see that that's the way it was going, and why Xero have such a huge market share, and why they are growing so quickly. So we only switched over then. And I just think, it's so much more user-friendly. Sage, I think, is aimed at accountants. And the problem with that is, we love it, because if a client's using Sage and then they give it to you at the year end, as accountants, we love it. But people don't love it. The clients are not accountants. And what Xero have done really well is make it a really user-friendly interface. Their support is very, very good. You don't get the bugs. Sage, it just seems to go wrong a lot. We have clients that use it, and we still support it. I'm still a Sage member, and I think it does have its place. I think maybe the slightly bigger practices, they feel safer with it, because it's been around a lot longer.
It's a known product,
It's a known product, and they've used it for so long. I think it's a lot harder to expect a much bigger client to just switch over. Although they still do, retrain your staff, understand how to use it. It's a big process. It's a big upheaval. Also, Sage integrates with a lot of CRM systems that Xero doesn't. I think it will over time. Xero does integrate with loads, but you find that certain industries, or what we're finding is clients go, well, I've got so-and-so CRM, which is bespoke to their industry. Sage integrates with it beautifully.
Yeah.
So then we're saying, well, if you get Xero, you can have an add-on that will help kind of merge it, or you're going to have to just upload your invoices via CSV and stuff. And they're kind of a bit like, but why would I do that?
Yeah.
So trying to convince people sometimes to use Xero when they see Sage as an easier option, but it's looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know, Xero's integrations are fantastic. There's so many incredible apps now that integrate with Xero that we absolutely love. And
so what are your what are your like top apps you couldn't, or integrations you couldn't live without?
Go cardless.
Yeah.
Love it so much.
Yeah, we use that. Really,
you know,
really good.
so we've gone from...
What is GoCardless for people that are
so
watching?
people that don't know, GoCardless is effectively a direct debit solution. So it will collect monthly direct debits from your clients, but equally it will collect any invoices from your clients. So we don't have to have them on a monthly direct debit. If you just want to collect money quicker and not have to chase people for payment, GoCardless all the way. So we've been using GoCardless from day one for our monthly subscription. So all our clients pay monthly by direct debit. But then we also do a lot of additional work. So whenever that's invoiced, that gets collected automatically. So one thing I didn't want from the early days, when it was just me sat in my garage, was not getting paid on time.
Yeah.
From the very outset, I thought, I can't deal with that. You know, cash flow is so important. I need to know I'm getting X amount a month. So GoCardless does that. So we went from someone sat there manually doing all the month's invoices, sending them out to clients. The money would get collected on GoCardless. Then you'd have to go into Sage, for example, and allocate all that money against all of the invoices. So we went from someone manually doing all of that to now we're at a stage where there's just no human interaction of any of it.
Collects.
They automatically go from Xero on a recurring basis. The money gets collected by GoCardless automatically. When it comes back in, it gets reconciled against Xero invoices. So just from an efficiency point of view, it's fantastic. So yeah, GoCardless I love. What else are we using? A2X is really, really good for people selling on Amazon and things like that. It's quite, I'd say expensive, but from the feedback we get from clients and the time it saves them with dealing with all the different fees, you know, when you sell on Amazon, it's a huge amount of fees, different things you have to pay. A2X will deal with all of that and put it all into Xero for you. It'll also do your currency conversions. It'll do everything. So that's a really, really good one for online sellers. Soldo is one we've got on board with quite recently, which is for people that operate or used to operate maybe petty cash or have staff that have expenses. Yeah. So it kind of cuts all of that out really. So you have a prepaid card. So we, for example, used to have like a petty cash tin because the girls will go and get milk and they'll get bits and pieces we need for the office. And now we just have a Soldo card. It's just a prepaid card. They'll spend on it. It links automatically back through to Xero. So there's no kind of having to type in what you've spent in cash. Also, if you have staff that go out and do things and you're having to pay them expenses every month or reimburse them, you don't have to do that because you just give them a Soldo card. Oh, okay. They do it. You take a photo on the Soldo app or the receipt. It will remind you that you kind of have to do that if you like.
Right, okay. Is that any better than... So we're looking at... We've got a few Amex cards and we've got a few people have those, but not everyone, because I don't really fancy giving everyone an Amex card.
No.
Is that better than Amex
I think it's better because you have more control. So you would put £50 limit on it. You would top it up. You top it up with what you want it to be topped up with. And then they can only use it to that extent until we top it up again.
Yeah, that's more safe than Amex.
Much more safe.
Like unlimited.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, I love that kind of app. I think is brilliant now because, you know, I've got clients, whose staff go abroad on trips and, you know, it will do all your currency conversions for you back into Xero. So
is it just like a Visa card then, I guess?
It's effectively, like a credit card. Yeah, I think it's a MasterCard. Okay. So you pay, I think, £2.50 a month. I think. I think you pay £5 as a one-off fee and then £2.50 a month for the card, and it just does all of that. Cool. So it's a no-brainer. So clients are quite liking that.
Receipt Bank.
Receipt Bank. Receipt Bank. I love it. Oh, such a super fan.
Do you want to talk a bit about that for people that don't? I'm sure we've told about it before, but
so
one of the best.
Bank is
That's probably our biggest recommendation.
Oh, God, it's, I can't believe I didn't say that first. Shame on me. Receipt Bank is amazing. So we use it a huge amount internally for all of our processing. Basically, it's a way of getting your receipts and invoices into Xero or other cloud software that I don't really want to mention. But it's a way of getting them into Xero without physically typing anything in. So either taking photos of them, scanning them in, or forwarding an email, because a lot of us get our invoices on email nowadays. Just forward the email to a specific email address that you're given. And then Receipt Bank will extract all the information from the receipts, you know, what you've bought, where you've got it from, etc. Aside from the fact you have to put a little bit of detail in if you want to. It'll also do auto capture from any bigger brands. So like, for example, if you've got your BT bills, you can just set it up to log into your BT account once a month and pull your invoice from
Really?
it.
That's something I did not know. Interesting.
I can tell you loads of things about
There we
Receipt
go.
Bank. It now does sales invoices as well, which most people don't really need because a lot of people will produce their invoices anyway through Xero.
Yeah.
But some clients actually don't. So because they have maybe other bespoke software. So again, going back to where people say their CRM doesn't always integrate, it's usually on the sales invoices side they need it to integrate.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's quite good now because you can just push it all into Receipt Bank. So we give Receipt Bank free of charge to our clients because it's such an incredible tool, makes their life so much easier. You know, I think once you start using it, you wouldn't go back to not using it, basically. It's just so good. And we use it a huge amount internally for processing. It's saved us so much time. It's made us so much more efficient. So yeah, love Receipt Bank.
Float is probably the only other one I think we've come across.
Yeah, Float is good. So that's relatively new to us, cash flow software. But that Float is really, really good for people that want to keep an eye on their cash. So, and it's not even people that maybe have bad cash flow. You get people.
We use it. More for scenarios.
Yeah,
so you can plan out what you're going to do.
Yeah, so good for scenarios. So just saying, you know, I want to know when my bank balance will get to X amount. I want to know if I take on another member of staff, how that's going to impact my cash.
Yeah.
So I think absolutely you're right.
We literally use it for how long will our company survive if we do this, and we watch the balance go down and say, we can't afford that.
Yeah,
or we can afford it until like next year. So we need to do something. Like, brilliant for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. It's really good for scenarios. I think that's really great. You know, some clients might want to go, I want to pay off my overdraft. So actually, if we do this amount of business in the next 12 months, all our costs are reasonably static for the next 12 months. When will we pay off the overdraft? And it will maybe show you, actually, you're not going to do it the next 12, you're going to do it the next 18. But however, if you can drive your sales up by X amount a month, you're going to get your overdraft paid off quicker. So then it's really good for targeting and stuff like that. Yeah, so quite like Float.
I guess on that, have you got any tips for managing money as a business owner? It's the only thing we've got is Profit First. I don't know if you've read that.
No, I haven't, no.
Profit First is probably the biggest thing we did. But you know, we've never run a business before. Most business owners have probably never run businesses before. Yeah. Any handy tips? Because we were doing everything out one bank account, as I'm sure many people probably still are.
Yeah.
Any thoughts around that?
So I always recommend getting a savings account, always, to put your VAT money in and put your tax money in. You know, so many clients struggling to pay VAT bills, and it's like, you know, because they use their VAT money, and it's trying to get them out of that scenario because the VAT money is not yours to spend. Yeah. You know, so you've just got to get into the mindset. And it is hard because I know better than anyone, you know, getting all that money in and knowing that a massive chunk...
I could afford something.
Yeah. Like, look at my bank balance. No, actually, because, you know, so much of that is not my money.
Yeah.
You know, put it in a separate account, get rid of it out of your account. Do not leave it in there because the temptation to spend it is massive. So that's just a really, like, easy tip. But I think the main thing would be that people are so busy running their businesses, they don't take the time out to really look at their finance function and monitor what's going on a monthly basis and stuff. I think, you know, your year-end accounts, I'm just about to do a video on this actually that will come out soon. But
it's only because it's our year-end today.
Oh, really? Happy year-end. But your year-end accounts really are kind of a little bit irrelevant. You know, they have to be done. They have to be done legally, of course. But they're due in so much time after your year end that the data is just a little bit pointless. Yeah. I think, you know, yes, okay, they're good for comparison purposes, like how much have we done year on year, but really your monthly figures, your management accounts, those are what are going to give you the information you need. Yeah. And so many clients don't have a clue. You know, the amount of clients I meet that, you know, they don't even know what their profit is, they don't know what their turnover is, they don't know these things, and they just give all their stuff to the accountant, they get their accounts done, they pay whatever tax they owe, and that's the end of it. Wow. You know, and yes, okay, it does take time, you know, but your finance function is so massively important to your business. You need to take that time out. You need to understand your figures. How can you make good business decisions if you don't know how much money you've got, how much money you're going to make over the next 12 months, whatever. Yeah. You know, it's all about, like you say, Float's really, really good. But even if you haven't got maybe the apps, but even a basic spreadsheet will do, or, you know, your accountant can help you with this type of stuff. But instead of looking back at historical data and going, oh, last year we made so much money, like, so what? Like, what are you going to make now?
The main thing we use our company accounts for is to send to our suppliers because they want to see them before they'll give us like a credit limit. That's really all we use them for, because we're already like we're dealing with tomorrow, and next month's not like what we've just done.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it's just looking forwards and making sure that you've got that in place.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's good that your suppliers kind of maybe encourage that, because it makes you have to do them, even, I mean, I'm sure you do them anyway, but you know, it's just really, really important. Your current information is so important, you know, and it's something that as a business owner you should care about and you should want to know, because otherwise what is the point? What is the point of going to work every day if you're not making, you know, what's the end goal? I just think they say like start with the end in mind, and I think that is so important. Like, what are you doing this for? There's got to be an end goal. Is it you want to get to a certain amount of income per month, or you know, it might be that you want to buy your dream house, or you want to be able to afford a certain number of family holidays a year, and once you've got to that, that's you happy. So what's it going to take to get you there? And that's, you know, and then you need to break it down, because if you're just mindlessly working week in, week out and no clue about any of that, it just kind of defeats the object, really.
That's what I like about the Profit First book. I think the whole premise of it is that if you can't afford to take 1% of your turnover as profit, then what are you doing? What's the point of doing business? But I highly recommend. I won't go into Profit First too much because I normally talk about it, but it's incredible.
I will read it.
We basically have an account for everything, and we split our money up into each account. So every month we take like 2% of our turnover or 3% of this and put it into there. So we've got like a office equipment account that just fills up with money slowly over time. And we know if we want to go and buy a computer or a desk, if we've got the money in the account, we can afford it. We'd have to go, or actually no, we've got our VAT bill come out, and then corporation tax, and we'd have to do all that. It's
That's
just
really good
money
idea.
in the account, we can use it. So really, really good.
Yeah, definitely.
And then just continuing the question of why would you choose Xero?
Sorry,
why would you choose
digress?
Sage? No, that's
did I even answer that
fine.
one? Basically, I just love Xero so much.
I think we got the
I'm
idea
such
of
a Xero geek.
Are there any instances where you would choose Sage over Xero? I'm guessing no. Okay.
No.
Because I think for us, I think the only cases are probably more in the manufacturing side of things. Because there's like Sage, is it Sage 200 manufacturing or something?
Yeah, there is.
Systems?
But then I think there's always a way with Xero. I've not found a situation where Xero couldn't work for a business. And I think restricting yourself to desk-based software, I just don't think is ever the right thing to do. I think you will always be more efficient, allowing yourself that flexibility with your accounting function, and how efficient it can be if you've got the right apps and the right add-ons and things. I would always choose Xero.
So we always we work with a lot of accountants.
Thank you for all the merch, but I'm really sorry.
Looking forward to the comments on that one.
I know. I'm sorry.
Let's talk a bit about your videos then in that case, because that leads us on to nicely into your social media and all the video work you've been doing recently. So you've been doing them for about a year?
A couple of years doing the videos, but they were always really made for Facebook and Instagram. They weren't made for LinkedIn at all. And it wasn't, I rejoined LinkedIn about 6 months ago, and then put them out on there and got really good response. I thought, could put these out on LinkedIn. Happening. So now that it's definitely, LinkedIn is definitely in mind now when I'm having them made. But yeah, it's something I've been doing for quite a while.
Is there anything different you have to do then for thinking of like doing them for LinkedIn? Do you have to make them slightly differently?
No, I don't think so. No, they're formatted so they will fit on the various platforms. I have them formatted for YouTube. I have them formatted for Instagram, and now Instagram TV. And
I mean, you actually make them vertical videos.
Yes.
As well. Okay.
Yeah. So they're formatted into different things. I don't do that, obviously.
Yeah, no,
it's not my forte at all. But yeah, so they just seem to get quite good reach and good exposure. So
they're very viral from the kind of viral styles from what we see.
Yeah, it's all a bit of fun. I quite like that side of it and doing the videos. I think the problem is accountancy by its very nature is quite boring. So, I mean, I love it, but it's not. It is boring. So I think you can't just put out, here's an article I've written about some recent tax changes and stuff like that. Like, no one cares. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one wants to see that.
I see those and I try and make my way through them, because you kind of feel like you have to, because you need to like learn all the updates. Well, no, but you feel like you have to. It's like, no, I should understand this. And you read it and go, I still don't understand this.
I know. That's the thing. It's complicated. What we do is complicated in the same way that what you guys do is complicated. So communication is very, very important. And I think I like the videos because I'd rather watch a video, and that's why YouTube's so incredibly been so successful because everyone would rather watch a quick video and go, oh, that's how you do it, you know. And as much as you're never really going to understand the accounts and tax side of it massively, because that's what your accountant's there for, it's just little snippets, it's little bits of like, oh, did you know this, and did you know you could do that, and it might open up a conversation with your accountant, because you might say, oh, I didn't know about that, or whatever. So yeah, it's good, and it's good for brand awareness and marketing. And I love, you know, social media and Google on our website is really the only marketing really that we've ever done on day one. So I love it.
And we were saying earlier, so in terms of doing the videos, they don't directly bring in business. You can't attribute a customer because they watched the video. Sometimes
you can. So I definitely have a few that have said, you know, I saw your videos.
Okay.
I want you to be my accountant.
Brilliant.
I definitely have had that happen several times. But I think on the whole, it is just that online presence. You know, I have really pushed that from day one.
Yeah.
You know, when I had like 30 followers on Facebook, and I'd just be there in my garage every day like, hi everyone, me again. You know, and I've been consistently doing it from day one, and I've never stopped. Every single day that I've had my business, I've been on social media of some description.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you know, 95%.
So you had a holiday, was it you that was on a holiday recently, and you were still very active?
Yeah, still active on
very
holiday.
much the same.
I don't like, you know, I do step away in terms of the work when I'm on holiday, absolutely. But I love social media.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. You know, I understand people go, right, I'm off on holiday now, my LinkedIn's going quiet for the next 2 weeks, whatever. I totally get that, because it's got to be whatever suits you. But I love social media. It's a part of me. I don't find it difficult. I don't ever have to really consciously think about it. It's not, I don't plan it into my day. It's not anything like that. It's just part of my day. It just happens in the same way that I get up and get ready for work. Like I get up and I go on social media because I want to see what everyone's doing. I want to interact with people. Like I love it. So, you know, being on holiday, I still want to do it and tell people that I'm on holiday. I want to show people I'm on holiday, and I want to still have, you know, arguments with people.
This isn't Facebook.
Yeah,
on
all the time.
Yeah.
Yesterday someone put that on one of my posts, and I just liked it. I can't always be bothered to respond because you get quite a lot of comments, but
you get quite a lot of negative comments.
Yeah,
as well,
I'd say definitely on every post, pretty much I get something negative, but I don't mind.
That's kind of good though. It means you're probably doing the right thing.
I like it. I think if I don't get anything negative, I always feel a bit disappointed that my post is not controversial enough. But no, I like it because I like that people don't always agree with me. You know, I'm not on there for. Obviously, it's nice people agreeing with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, you know, I don't want people to agree with me. Because it's lovely when people go, yeah, you're right. It gives you that little boost and you think, yeah. But I also love the people that go, no, you're wrong. And like how passionate they get about the fact they think I'm wrong. And what they don't understand is, or maybe they do understand, but I think they don't understand that they're doing me a massive favour. So every time someone puts something negative on my post, I am really grateful, because I'm like, you're exposing my post so much more. You're making my reach that much wider. Now other people are talking to you, which is making it even bigger. And actually, everyone else has agreed with me and you haven't. So you've made yourself look stupid and you've made my post look better. So like it all just works. It just win-win all round. So I'm like, please do that. Please keep commenting negative things, because I love it.
Good.
I love it. I mean, obviously if it's really, really nasty, I haven't really had one that was a bit, like it was a bit too far, and I just block them, you know. It's not, I don't need that, but I never delete, you know, if people sometimes people put quite sort of cutting things on and I'm a bit like, oh, but then I think just leave it on there because it just exposes them as a bit of a idiot, really.
Definitely does. Yeah, there's been lots of that going around on LinkedIn, I think.
There has,
So
it's all fun.
In terms of your services, just had a few questions, because we've had some horrendous experience over the years with accountants.
Yes. What has happened?
So our first accountant, our very first accountant, they suggested we signed up for VAT and said, "Yep, cool, you go and do it." And they signed us up for the voluntary VAT scheme.
Yeah.
Which is still a thing, is it?
Well,
I don't know
you can voluntarily register for VAT. It's not
which meant
like
you only paid like 10%
flat rate,
depending on
flat
the
rate scheme.
Flat rate scheme.
Yeah,
so we signed up they signed us up for the flat rate scheme.
Yeah.
And then we had a meeting, like a quarterly catch-up meeting or something.
Yeah.
So what VAT scheme are you on? The scheme
you
signed us up to.
Yeah.
And we've been saving 10% of our money to pay the VAT bill. Okay, well we'll go and check for you. And they were, well, we've actually signed you up to the full rate VAT scheme.
Oh.
Cool. So we now need to find another like £20,000. Great, thank you. So they didn't last very long.
No, I'm not surprised.
And then, and they were definitely the worst. And then the only other bad experience we really had is we in the IT industry are very much per user. We want to pay monthly.
Yeah.
I want to pay this much per month, and it's going to cover me for whatever I need.
Yeah.
And we had that kind of agreement with the previous accountant, and then we started getting extra invoices. Like, well, we had a long meeting that day. Well, that's not really what I understood. It was I pay that and I do whatever I want, basically, within reason.
Yeah, of course.
And so we moved again, and we found, we're quite happy with the one we've got now.
Yeah.
But it was just frustrating over the years of. I'm guessing you must have heard some horrendous stories over the years. But so how do you bill for your accountancy service? Are you kind of, is it certain packages, or is it very? I guess it's individual depending on the customer.
It is. So we try and be really transparent with our pricing, and we will sit with the client and go through exactly what they want and also what we think that would be really useful for them, and build their package to meet that. It's a monthly direct debit, it's a set fee. The last thing we want to give our clients is unexpected bills. So we're very, very clear about what is included. You want to sit down and have face-to-face meetings with us, that's absolutely cool. We're going to build that into your package.
Yeah.
If you don't want that, then equally, if at some point you want a meeting, then it will be chargeable. We're very clear from the start what is and isn't included, so people know if they pay this much a month, they've got XYZ included, and it's got to suit them. And I think transparent pricing is so important. All this charging by the hour and stuff, it's so archaic. Like, too many accountants still doing that. Like, it's 2019. What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? It's not fair to say to someone, like, however long we spend is what we'll bill you at the end of the year. What's my bill going to be? Between $2,000 and $3,000, like, that's not a fit. How can you expect, you as an accountant, we're so clued up on budgeting and costs and how that impacts our business and stuff like that. So how can you not allow your clients to also be able to do the same? It's not fair. So, pricing's really, really important for us. It's a set amount. Obviously, if the scope increases, if a client's turnover goes up massively, then that will be addressed at the year end. Like, look, you've gone up this amount. The work therefore has increased this amount, so we're going to, the fee will increase, accordingly. But that's all explained, and I think it's just being really fair and open. And we're certainly not on the cheap side at all for what we do, but that's fine with us. I don't want to be in that bracket. It's all about the service. You want a dedicated account manager. You want your emails and phone calls responded to really, really quickly. You want a high level of expertise. You want all these things. Like, we're going to give you all of that. But obviously that does come with a price tag. But
do you do payroll as well?
Do loads of payroll, pensions, all that kind of stuff.
Is that through Xero? So I know Xero's
we
only just
do
recently
not
brought
use
it in.
payroll.
Okay.
Xero payroll. Sorry, Xero.
Because that was because Xero's Australian, isn't it? New Zealand,
it is.
Something?
Yeah.
And I think I heard that it got put in, but it was very geared towards their market and hadn't yet kind of been made to the UK's standards.
Yeah, it's just not great. Sorry. Yeah,
I've heard that.
I think it will become better. I hope it does, Xero. But no, we use our own software for payroll, so we run it all in-house on our own software. But if it gets better, then we'll certainly use it. But it's got to be good enough for what we're trying to achieve. Everything we do, technology is a part of everything we do. So we are a digital firm. We do everything electronically. We invest heavily in technology. It's really important for us. So it's all about our processes and making life convenient for clients. I always think about what will make someone's life easier. I don't want my clients ever to have to do anything that's too stressful. So you've got to get that balance between making sure everything's right and everything's accurate and you're doing the best job possible, but whilst making someone's life easier. Because people have got busy lives, they've got enough to be doing. They don't want to be like having to fill in forms and send them back and stuff. None of that. So,
So what's your favourite? Do you have a favourite techie gadget? A favourite bit of technology? Probably your phone, I imagine, actually.
My phone, definitely my phone. I'd probably say maybe Receipt Bank or Xero. I definitely, because of the impact it's had, and how it streamlined everything. I'm all about streamlining, like efficiencies. We're always continually looking for better ways of doing things. So I'd say, Xero's made a huge difference to my business since we joined it. So
did you always start off using Xero, or were you Sage kind of when you
first
first started?
Sage, we only joined Xero in May last year.
Oh, I see.
So we've like taken on a huge amount of clients using Xero since then. So we started off like, then we got bronze status, then we got silver, and we're about to hit gold.
Brilliant.
So we've done that in like sort of less than 18 months, which is
what does that mean, bronze, silver, gold, with the partnership things?
You get a certain number of points for every client you sign up to Xero, and then it gives you a status. It is more of just a pride thing.
Right.
Like, but I literally can't wait to get gold status. I'm such a loser. I was so excited. But we're almost going to hit it, and we've done it in kind of not unprecedented timescales. I'm sure other firms have, but organically to have done it, you know, not to.
Yeah, because I imagine lots of large accountancy firms are converting them over, which means it's easier for them because they've already got the clients already.
Absolutely. And you can also buy like a bulk of
bulk
memberships
kind of thing. Right.
So I could have bought enough and got gold status. And
I see. And be sat
bought
on
them at a discount, and then just sit and then just hand them out to clients as they come along, fill them up that way. But I was like, no, we're going to do it the proper way. I was like, I can't. I've got to do it properly. I want to feel like I've earned it.
Yeah.
So we're really, really close now. I think we need about another 10 clients or so, which we'll do in the next probably month or two, to get gold status. I'd be so happy.
Hit client 500 recently?
Yes, yeah. Well, thank you for pointing
only
out.
400 something lines on the spreadsheet.
I had formatted the spreadsheet. In fact, I wrote a comment out back to you going, well, what happened was I copied and pasted this from my CRM system, and then I deleted loads of stuff because I was trying to look at the month of September, what we'd done.
Right, oh, okay.
And then I was looking at that, and then I was like editing it backwards and forwards, and then I just took a photo, and then I was like, I wrote, and then I thought, I can't be bothered.
It wasn't intentionally a mean
no,
comment.
I know it wasn't. I know, and I'm fine. I'm fine with it. It was funny. But yeah, so we just hit 500, so that was amazing. And I don't always notice the actual number of clients until something like that, and I think, oh.
Yeah, it's like
we've
a
hit
nice round number.
That's amazing. Yeah, like I remember hitting 50 and being like, wow, 50 companies like want me to work for them or whatever. And
are those, you know, I guess you work with most of them on a monthly basis, or
all different
variation?
All different, because we've probably got about 60% company corporate clients, and then 40% which are like either landlords, self-employed people, high net worth, like all the kind of just tax return stuff. So it's a big mix. So some of them monthly, some of them quarterly, some of them don't want any of that, you know. And I think you can't always convince people that they need, or you shouldn't try to convince people they need more than what they need. You know, so some like of our one-man band contractor clients, they're just quite happy ticking along. They know how much their money they need to save for tax. We clue them up on how much they're making, and then they just crack on. They don't need us to get involved on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. They're quite happy just to do it. If they need us, they know we're there for them, and that's it. Whereas other ones, a bit meatier ones, need more help and assistance. So just matching their needs really with the services that you provide. You guys must have it with the IT stuff. Like
very similar.
Some of them want all singing, all dancing. Like
although we're trying to kind of narrow down a bit more what we do, because we found from starting up, we were literally, you want IT, we'll give you IT.
Yes.
Whatever you want, we'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Within our kind of, we've got our preferred kind of products and services we offer.
Yeah.
Even from the support packages we have, we've got 3 different fixed price support contracts depending on what level you need. We've got pay and go, we've got block time, and we're trying to now reduce that so it's a lot more simpler.
Yes.
So that people can go and we say, I think we'll maybe have 2 support packages.
Yeah.
And then possibly still pay and go, and maybe the block time still. It's just dropping slowly over time. We're going to really try and reduce that, so you can kind of focus in on your bit of your niche and you know what you kind of you want to, and how you want to help customers really. But there's IT's different for everybody. It's really difficult. It's similar with accounts. Everyone wants different things.
They do.
And different products. We basically go in and we say, these are our products and services. If you're our client, this is what we'll do.
Yeah.
This is how we'll run it.
Yeah.
We've got some. I'm sure we've got some great stats if we actually pull them out. But people that take on, so we have like our essentials package or plan, whatever we call it, which is all our security stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't recall anybody that's taken up essentials has had any form of like malicious, ransomware-y, like serious thing at all.
Yeah.
It's which is quite a nice stat to have.
Yeah,
really
good
basically,
stat.
if you listen to us, you're fine.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to us, but we've had some horrendous stories though. We had one company, one solicitor's firm got stung for £400,000. They're no longer in business because they didn't listen to our advice. We weren't supporting them.
No, you weren't supporting them. Yes, just get that clear.
We actually told them they needed email anti-spam software because they didn't have any.
Oh, okay.
Need email anti-spam software because they had like a malicious email come through and said you need it. We're like, no, it's happened once. It's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
Happened again. Stung them for £400,000. And then they came back to me and said, oh, that stuff you were telling us about. Yeah, we'll have it now. and I sent them the quote. I accidentally, and honestly, completely accidentally added an extra 0 to the quote. Not trying to do anything. And I think they replied back saying, "Can we pay monthly?" I was like, "Oh, no, it's fine. I'll take the 0 off. You're fine." And but they didn't last, unfortunately, which is a horrendous thing. And then another, probably our most intricate. I think it's probably our most intricate one that came through the other day. So a customer of ours, they had. It must have been a phone call. I think was it a phone call they had? It was an email. So they had an email came through saying we want to, we're a big new customer. We want to buy this particular part or something. We need this problem fixed. Here's the part number. Can you go and source it for us? So they went online, Googled the part number, found where to buy it from, bought the part, and then everything just disappeared. And so what they'd done is they sent the email. They then spun up a website which included the part number on it. Did a load of work to get that website to rank high in Google, so it was like one of the first search results. So a lot of work's gone into it.
Yeah.
Literally, company goes online, Googles part number, finds said dodgy company, buys the part, and then everything disappears and the money's gone. And that was like 25 grand.
Oh my God.
Obviously, there are some things there on why would they spend 25 grand with a new supplier without going through a few checks, which is certainly questionable. But that's that kind of thing. And that's probably the most work I think that's gone into creating a whole website and getting it all the SEO that's needed to get it up to the top is horrendous.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I digress. I've gone off a tangent now.
I had a really funny, weird email, I think a couple of days ago, and it was like a web inquiry through our website, and it says, "Oh, you've been recommended by," and it's quotes someone who I don't know, and it's a foreign company, and they need some assistance with a UK arm of their adult website business.
Doesn't sound suspicious.
So I was like, A, why am I getting the one for the adult website? And B, no thanks. Like, I just can't even, it's not even something I'll even entertain. But
you've got like capture forms on your forms, code thing.
Yeah.
And we stopped the majority of them.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so it doesn't happen very often. And even if maybe it is legit, you just don't know, do you? But when you just
there are some things you just don't want to touch.
I just can't. There's much easier ways to make money. So I don't. We're a little bit now. I'd say more so now that we've grown a bit pickier about sort of who we work with. The fit's got to be right for us. We've got to feel like we're actually going to add value and do something for clients, and equally that they're right for us as a business, so we're definitely at that stage now where it's more about the relationship and being able to. Have
you fired any clients?
Yeah,
okay.
Quite a few.
Wow, okay.
Well, I say quite a few. We've never lost a client that we didn't want to lose. Apart from one that actually sold out to a FTSE 100 company. So
not really bad.
That was that was good.
And you couldn't win the accounts. Of course,
I know, but they would have been audited. So when we don't do audits, so
right.
It was really good to see them on their journey and help them go through the sale and everything, and be on hand to help them with all of that. And it all went through really well. So considering the company that bought them did their due diligence with a fine-tooth comb, so it was really good to be able to give them all that information and help them on their way and see them sell. It was brilliant. But generally, I think because we do, as cringy as it sounds, like, do really, really care about everything we do. Like, it's my business. Obviously, I care. I take it personally, but I try and instill in my team the way that I deal with clients and the way we really do bend over backwards to clients. Like, nothing is too much trouble for us. It doesn't matter what it is. We will do our absolute best to always help and try and think outside the box and try and help clients. And it's so nice to see them grow, and they come on board as little businesses and then they flourish, and I love seeing that and stuff. So I think now it's more about working with ones that we want to work with, rather than like in the early days. I'm sure you can relate. Like you said earlier, I took on everything. When I was on my own, I was literally like, I'll do it. Doing stuff for free.
I got accountancy.
Yeah. Doing stuff for free, like, just everything, because I was so kind of desperate for the work. And as time goes on, you don't have to do that anymore, and you get better at what you do, and you offer a certain level of service that kind of allows you to be a bit pickier. So that's quite nice now to do that.
We've very, very recently, I don't know if I've actually announced this formally at all. So in terms of like taking clients on, we very, very recently decided internally that we've set kind of it's a bit difficult. It's like a minimum monthly spend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've got that now.
Within a certain limit, because obviously if we see a smaller customer but has potential to grow.
Yeah.
But we're probably onboarding, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 customers in the last month or so.
Yeah.
And they're very, very small.
Yes.
Which is great, and we love them, and they're brilliant businesses to work with. But trying to onboard that many customers at once, just the overhead you need to try and do it just takes so long.
It does.
Whereas if we could focus on that kind of level up, maybe take on board 1 or 2 of them instead, and we've probably got better relationships because we'll speak to them more, and we can do more things with them.
Yeah.
And it's only very, very recently we've done that. Whereas before we'd still talk to them, still get involved and quote, and then we probably lose the business because they're too expensive.
Yeah.
Because we always have, our base was always support whichever kind of version of support you need, whether it's pay and go, but we'll always do that essentials for the security package, so we know whoever we're working with at least have like the basics covered.
Yeah, absolutely,
because that avoids the whole situation we had before of the solicitor that got stung because they didn't have the right stuff in place.
Exactly.
And if you're not willing, I think it's like £15 per like PC per month. If you're not willing to spend 15 quid per computer for your security, then you're probably not right for us anyway.
Exactly.
And we've got a lot better at noticing those things now. I'm sure you must have over time when they're kind of starting to quibble over the initial pricing.
Yeah.
And I so much so that with a few customers where we've gone in and quoted, and I've met with the business owners who have kind of gone, well, why is that much, and what are you recommending that for, and what does that do? Yeah. And one of the ones recently I just sent an email back saying that really, really like interested and keen to work with you, but on the back of the email, on the back of the questions that you asked, I honestly don't think you're a good fit. If you're starting to be unsure in any form of any way, then I think we should just kind of call it quits and see if you can find someone better off. Because if you're going to fall off your chair at these prices, then you just wait until we do like a server refresh for you. Then you're really going to hate us.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just trying to call it before it gets to that position, really. Yeah,
it's so important, I think. And then you learn as a business owner, don't you? And over time, we've changed a lot of the way we do things. We've changed systems a lot. We've, like now, we get a lot of inquiries, but we don't convert that many into clients. Yeah. So, I'd say going back a while ago, we probably would have converted 80% of our inquiries. Our inquiries have gone up a huge amount, and B, it's actually not about that now. It's about getting the clients that obviously are going to be the most profitable for us as a firm, but also enabling us to give them that really good service too. Yeah. So we have a minimum monthly spend. We're very clear about that from the very, very outset, because what I don't want to do is waste my time in a meeting with a client if that's going to be an issue. So let's get that out of the way. Like, this is how we charge. This is our minimum monthly fee before we've even kind of got any further with it. Because if they go, oh, that's a bit much, then you go, no problem, like, all the best, kind of, we're not right for you, and kind of wish them well on their way. And I think just doing that kind of really cuts out the ones that are going to be maybe time wasters, because we're not right for everybody. There are one-man bands that work from home like I used to be, and there are kind of the more budget accountancy firms that will literally, fill in a few forms, tick a few boxes and submit it, and you can probably get that for a few £100, and that's fine. If that's what's right for you, then that's absolutely fine, but that's not us. So it's just trying to get that clear very early on, and then, which is why we do like a discovery call initially. So do you find you're doing a lot of work on like the pre-qualifying kind of side of things then? Not too much. I try and narrow it down now. Again, it's all getting better as time goes on, and you learn,
marketing, communication, and things.
And when you get like maybe I spent a bit of time, like for example, I spent a bit of time going backwards and forwards with a potential client a couple of weeks ago, and I realised at the end of it, I probably shouldn't have wasted the time going backwards and forwards. I should have nipped that in the bud a lot earlier. So it is a learning curve. That kind of decision. Yeah, absolutely. But it's my nature is that I want to be so helpful. Yeah, I'm the same. I really struggle to say no. I really struggle to say no. So I'm just like, people go, oh, can you do this? And I'm like, and a lot of the times I find I just give people the information. I'm like, oh, if you just do this, you'll be fine. And I don't mind doing that. I don't mind helping anyone. I get sent loads of questions on LinkedIn all the time asking me how to do X, Y, Z, and I'll always help. Even though my time's really busy, but I do always help, because I'm happy to do that. But I think as a business owner, I kind of owe it to my clients and my staff and my business to be selective, and make sure that when we do that initial call, we're finding out if we're going to fit with them. So it is interesting to know about their business, but more so, this is the kind of way we work. We want clients that invest in technology. We want clients that see technology as a benefit and not as an annoying cost they don't want to pay. That's literally what we say to our clients. We want people that actually want to like invest in their IT and use it as
a reason to help them grow rather than just it has to be there.
Yeah.
We have to keep it running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of our clients are maybe on the younger side because, you know, and that we have loads of clients that aren't as well. So this is not, you know, me saying that we don't work with older clients. We absolutely do. But maybe the millennials and the younger generations of people starting their businesses, they see the benefit of technology because it's more prevalent now. So
do you then worry, because this is the same thoughts I have behind the videos, do you then worry that your videos are alienating the more kind of professional older generation?
No, because I'm happy to alienate that.
Okay, cool. Fair enough.
No, I haven't ever thought about it like that. I don't. Maybe it does. But then we act for so many kind of corporate, in the more professional sectors and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I think the videos are great again for just kind of that exposure, and all the social media stuff. And I think, to be honest, it works really well for us. It drives such a huge amount of business our way, that all of the social media combined and the online, our website and our Google, you know, we've never done Google ads or anything like that. But we did invest in SEO, which worked really, really well. So yeah, I think
it just all means, I guess, you can pick you have the choice of the clients rather than the other way around. Of
absolutely. Now we do. Yeah. And that's not, you know, coming from a place of arrogance or anything like that, because, you know, I really do work very hard, and I have from day one, and I've gone through that. I've gone through that, taking on anything and everything and working ridiculous hours and all that kind of stuff, to now be able to not have to do that. And it was a conscious decision. I don't want to work this many hours. This is not why I set the business up. So I am part-time. You know, I've been part-time for a long time. Now that both the kids are at school, we'll probably do a few more hours because I don't need to be at home so much with them. But I completely digress and can't remember what I was talking about. But yeah, the videos, I think, I don't know, I just like being a bit controversial and stuff. And I think
seems to work.
Yeah, it does. Because if you're a bit vanilla, not that there's anything particularly wrong with that, but you're not necessarily going to get the exposure you want. There's too many people on LinkedIn that are too worried about what other people think, and that is going to impact your growth. Okay, me being on LinkedIn is to grow my business.
Yeah,
I like it. It's entertaining, and I like to learn. So I learn from other people. I find it fun, and I grow my business. Those are the reasons I'm on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to accept every single connection request I get. I do not have the time. You know, people go, oh, well, I like to look at their profile, see if we've got any mutual friends, see what they do for a living, see if there's any synergies with what I do. And I'm like, I do not have time for that. Like, accept. Takes me long enough just to click the accept button.
Although I don't accept people. I get lots of connection requests from India, from like software developers who try and be like, I can develop your app for you.
Yes, yeah, no. Yeah, no, I totally get that. There's probably a few that I don't accept, but just generally on the whole, like, I just think I'm on there to grow my business and get my name out there. So yes, I'm going to be a little bit controversial. Yes, I kind of encourage all the comments and the discussions and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. I love the video stuff. I just love all of it, because I think if people say like you should be yourself, but not if you're a really boring person. Yeah. Like, don't be yourself, because it's not going to help your business. Like, you know, you just need to think what's in your business's best interest. And for me, I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But I'd rather be known by as many people as possible. And if only 60% of those people like me, that's still 60% of a lot more of a group than having 100% people like you and having 200 followers. You know, it's that for me.
So on your videos, because you seem very comfortable in the videos, and I'm sure it wasn't always like that. I remember from my first stuff. Yeah. How were the first few videos? How did it kind of go from there?
Just practice. I think like now I'll go in and do them a lot quicker. I'll whiz through them a lot more quickly because I feel much more comfortable. You know, the first videos I was very much like what accountants do wrong, like that, you know, because I was nervous and I'm like, oh my God, there's a camera in my face. And, you know, and then they edit them really, really well anyway. So they look like I was comfortable when I absolutely was not.
And that's Bill from Giant Leap.
Bill and videos, Luke. Luke does all the filming, but Giant Leap, Bill and Luke are absolutely amazing.
There's a plug. Bill.
Yeah,
Giant
absolutely. Leap. Bill and I love what they do. I owe them a lot. You know, I really, really do. I think they have enabled me to get into the video marketing side and probably get into it early on. There's not many accountants doing it. Yeah. And accountants that even are maybe doing it now are not doing it in the same way that I do. You know, they will stand there and do a video on like dividends and and things, and they're, you know, and this is not me putting them down, because I help other accountants. You know, I go out of my way. I'll go and spend half a day and help other accountants with social media. Like, I'm happy to help anyone, and I'm not an expert. I just know what's worked for my business and what I like doing, because I see results from it. But I think there are some that are getting it wrong, because they're standing there going, you know, dividends are a really good way to take money out of your company. And it's like, no one's going to watch that.
There's solicitors that we see often. They literally stand back of the room next to one of their banners.
Yep.
Cameras over there and microphones over there, and they're talking.
Yeah.
And you can't hear them. It's just kind of, to me, it's boring, because it's just all the legal latest stuff.
It's so boring. You know, what we do is boring. I say to people, when I help clients with their social media and their marketing, and I'm like, right, you, for example, run a cafe, right? What you do is so incredibly visual and interesting, okay? What I do is neither of those things, yet I've built my business off social media, okay? Yeah. If I can do it off of something that is not interesting, okay, and I'm on Instagram, which is a visual platform, Facebook, which has your ability to put visual stuff on, is massive. We have none of those things, yet we have a reasonably interesting social media account on both those platforms. It's not about what we do, it's about people wanting to follow us and wanting to see what we're up to, and trying to make it interesting. I'm like, so if you have something that is visual, you have no excuse to not be on those platforms. None. I'm like, what I could do with that, you know, so much more. But you've got to think outside the box. Yeah. And it's the same with LinkedIn and video marketing. You know, if you're an accountant, don't make boring videos, please. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, because all you're doing is actually, I think, harming your social media presence, because people will know you for standing there, you know, in front of your, like you say, in their office, like talking about boring stuff that no one cares about. Yeah. You know, so I'm about to release another batch of videos. They've all been edited, so they'll be going out shortly. But
where do people go to watch them? You've got like a YouTube
name? YouTube, yeah. And they'll be on all of it. They'll be on like this one.
All the platforms.
All the platforms. Maybe not Twitter. And I probably do put them on Twitter, to be fair, but I don't do a huge amount on Twitter, but all the other ones. And some of them have useful information I want to give out. I want to give useful information to people, but trying to do it in a non-boring way. So, you know, it's really hard, because it is naturally very boring. So some of them I just like to do funny ones, because just a bit of a laugh, isn't it? Yeah. And then other ones, it gets people talking and gets people interacting, and, you know, like, and then so many people have said, like, who does your videos? And I'm like, Giant Leap do them, they're amazing, but you've got to write the content. Everything is, I write everything myself, everything. You know, and I'll sit there and I'll write, this is a subject I want to talk about. This is my process for videos, in case anyone needs to know. So I'll sit there and I'll go, right, I need to do a video on this. I'll write everything that's important I want to get in there, and then I'll go back through and make it funny. Okay, or try to. I'm saying I'm like a comedian, but I try and make it funny, because I want people to watch it. So if you start off a video like in a boring sense, no one's going to watch it. And you might think you've got tons of views as well. Like someone pointed out the other day, just because I had 10,000 views the first 24 hours, people might not have watched it. And I'm like, there's more chance of people watching my videos because they're funny. But, you know, it's like, you know, you just don't put boring ones out. You're doing more harm than good.
Yeah.
You're doing more harm than good.
I'm hoping our one this week isn't going to be too boring. I didn't have enough time this weekend. And,
yours aren't, because you've got personality, and that comes across in what you do. And I think that's
very heavily edited. That's why.
Well, but then that's what I say about mine. Mine are really heavily edited. People go, oh, you're such a natural on camera. I'm like, no, I am absolutely not. I hate it. I hate hearing my own voice. I'm going to hate watching this.
You don't have to edit them though, do you?
I don't have to edit them, but I have to see them. So he sends them through, and he's like, here's the finished ones. And I'm like, oh, sick in my mouth. I hate watching myself on camera. I hate it. But it's for a greater good. Yeah. You know, it's for the benefit of my business. The whole thing.
Yeah. The only reason I started it, and I hate seeing myself on camera. Yep. I'm not too bad now. I can stare into a camera and I'm comfortable. Yeah. But to begin with, I absolutely detest it. The only reason I did it is because no one else is doing it. Yep. It could be a massive bonus to the business. Yep. And so I just need to suck it up and do it.
Absolutely. I'm 100% with you on that. That's what I say. I'm like, just put my big girl pants on and get the videos out there, because like I say, not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but then people are talking about it. Yeah. You know, I keep hearing that, oh, so-and-so accountants, they know you, and they were talking about your videos and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I don't know most accountants, even in the local area. So the fact that people know about me is really great. And that's because of the video marketing and the social media. So it's all
we have a question from Stuart. I'm just going to read this out. I'm a one-man
Questions?
consultancy.
Yeah.
I've got an accountant that does everything for me, or so I thought. However, I do seem to do most of the legwork in terms of scanning and receipts, etc. The only bit he does is payroll, VAT, and PAYE stuff. That's the bit that scares me. Does cloud accountancy actually do all of that for me, and is it less than £150 a year to do that?
No, I wouldn't say cloud accountancy would do any of those things for you. Sometimes there's like a misconception about, oh, well, if you're going to do my VAT return, you're just going to hit a button. You know, and that there's this massive misconception about it. Like, there's so much work that goes into it. You know, at the end of the day, we're chartered accountants. We've spent years and years and years qualifying to be experts at what we do. So, you know, when we're doing someone's VAT return, we are checking it with a fine-tooth comb. We're going through, making sure everything's correct, making sure you haven't missed anything out, making sure you haven't put stuff in there that shouldn't be in there. You know, preparing it, send it to you for review, submitting it to HMRC, making sure it's been accepted by HMRC, confirming when you've got to pay it. Like, all of these things, it's not just hitting a button, because clients can do their own, absolutely. And if you feel comfortable doing that and you're willing to put the time in, and you understand about different VAT rates and what can be claimed and what can't be claimed and all of that kind of stuff, then fine, you can do it yourself. It's the same with payroll. You know, it's RTI now, it's real-time information. You've got to submit it when it's due. It's got to be at the right level. If you're a one-man band, I see it all the time, people paying themselves the wrong level of salary. So if you're a one-man band, you should be on £719 a month this year. That's what you should be on. Yeah. So
and the rest dividends?
And the rest dividends, yeah, absolutely. So, but loads of people are like, oh, I'll pay myself £1,000 a month, and they just submit it through like Xero payroll or something like that.
Wow.
And I'm like, why have you just picked that figure? Like, and it's just little things like, oh, people paying themselves no salary because they don't realise, and then they just get to the end of the year and they're like, oh, I didn't know I needed that. And that you know,
I remember was it national insurance or something?
Yeah.
For my first couple of years when I started up, I paid like £5 national insurance.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous.
Yeah, and now it's nothing. So if you're on £719 a month, you'll pay no national insurance, but you'll hit the limit. So you'll still get your qualifying years.
Wow.
So it's just little things like that, you know, and there's quite a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah.
So
I think the apps, whether he's going towards in terms of the applications that you're using, Stuart, or that you could use, help you get the information in without mistakes, because it kind of basically pulls off actual invoices and sends them in.
Yes.
But yeah, there's definitely still the accountancy bit where you're, like you say, trying to claim for stuff that you shouldn't be. Or is there like the most common thing that you see entered wrong into Xero and accountancy apps, like insurance, because you can't claim? You can't claim for VAT.
You can't claim. There isn't VAT on insurance.
Yeah. Cars.
Yeah, I see it a lot where people put fuel through. So they always go and buy their fuel and they put that through Xero, claim the VAT back. We take it out, take the VAT back out. Should be claiming mileage. You know, unless you've got a commercial vehicle.
Yeah, and it's a company vehicle.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
If it's a company vehicle, then fair enough. But if it isn't a company vehicle and it's your own vehicle, stop putting fuel through. And should be claiming mileage and then claiming VAT back off your mileage. So many people forget to do that because it is a manual adjustment. It's not easy to do it on Xero. Again, if you're just doing it yourself, it'd be quite tricky for you to do that. It's quite a complicated calculation.
Yeah. Stuart replied back saying definitely not comfortable doing all the yeah. So we don't even do our own VAT. So we have we've got our own in-house kind of accounts, bookkeeping, reconciling team. But we always get our accountants to check everything over, because I want someone to expert to say yes, that's right, or and they do make adjustments and things for us.
And the thing is, as well, is, you know, there has to be that line about liability. So, you know, obviously it's always on the end company, because at the end of the day, it's your accounts. But if you're using a professional advisor and you get a VAT inspection and something's wrong with your VAT return, whose fault is it, really? You know, who's responsible for checking it? You know, if it's us, if we're responsible for checking it, then we should be checking it. We should be checking it properly. You know, we're not just hitting a button and going, oh, well, you think your VAT bill's 10 grand. Yeah, that sounds about right. Tick. You know, it's not like that. We do really, really check stuff, and it takes our time and our expertise, and something that the average person, in the same way your clients might go, well, I can just subscribe to that myself and I can do that myself, but it's not the same. You get what you pay for, don't you? So I think, Stuart, you better off sticking with letting your accountant do it. Yeah. And just
probably still say use things like Receipt Bank.
Absolutely, use Receipt Bank.
Gets everything in.
That's
just commenting saying I use a mega spreadsheet with every receipt logged and Office 365 shared folder with receipts scanned. That's exactly why you'd use Receipt Bank, because you literally just use the app,
off of that,
take a photo of the receipt, it then plumbs it into whichever account system you're using, if you are using one. If you're not using an account system, can it? What does it happen?
You can download a CSV.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you literally
put them all in.
Upload everything.
Yeah. Download a CSV.
Which effectively is your Excel spreadsheet.
Yep. But if you're VAT registered, you need to be on making tax digital compliant software.
Yeah.
So
which isn't Excel.
Which isn't Excel, but
guess.
we have got bridging software. So we have got a couple of clients still using spreadsheets.
But the accountant, I guess, could take the CSV and then import it into there.
If they can do that, yeah. And if they use Receipt Bank, they might not use it. The accountant might not use it.
Okay.
But yeah, Stuart, I would definitely, if you're manually sort of scanning them and uploading them to a shared file and doing a spreadsheet, I just wouldn't be doing any of that if I were you. Like, there's so much quicker and more efficient ways, and save yourself some time, because time is so important.
Have a chat with Jeri.
Have a chat with me, Stuart.
That is probably nearing the end of it. I'm just going to check. I think we've been going for an hour, hour and 7.
Wow, I did not think that.
What time is it? It's 20 past 11. Are you still good for time?
I better get back to work.
Yeah.
All my clients going to stop messing around on the podcast, Jeri. We've been waiting for a response to our email for the last 2 hours.
I wonder if they're probably sat in the office watching you at the moment.
Are.
Okay, well, let's call it there. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. It's
really
brilliant.
appreciate that. If you've got any further questions, of course, then drop them in the comments or get in touch with Jeri.
Yes.
What are your Twitter handles or Instagram? Do you know them? At Jeri Williams?
Yeah, at JW Accountants is our Instagram. Facebook, just type in Jeri Williams and Co. will come up. LinkedIn, I'm sure you'll find me.
Website address?
Website is www.jw-accountants with an S on the end.co.uk.
And Stuart, I will, he's asked for your contact details. I'll link you up in the comments on here so you can just get in contact and
please do, especially if you're a one-man band.
That'll be the second LinkedIn Live we've done where we've had business inquiries live on, literally.
Was the other one an accountant?
No, it was Kerry last week, marketing.
What can I say?
There we go. He's really good.
Especially if he's a one-man band contractor, because IR35, April coming up, big changes. About to do a video on that, Stuart. Look out for it.
Cool.
So
yeah. Bang on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
much. I appreciate
much.
your time.
Thank you.
For everybody watching, get in touch. We will try, and I don't actually know who's on next week's show, or even if we have a next week's show yet.
Jeri's coming back. It'll just be a regular chat with Jeri every week.
We can do the other half. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thanks for coming, Jeri. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Talk to you in the next one. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.